Iraq is facing a threat of a new civil war as remnants of ISIS and Iranian-backed militants may be seeking to capitalize on the ongoing violent protests in that country. One America's Kristian Rouz has more.
Serious human rights violations and abuses continued to occur during a second wave of demonstrations that started in October.
The UN is raising concerns over the mounting political and sectarian violence in Iraq, threatening to reignite war in that country. In a statement Tuesday, the Office of the UN Secretary-General said the death toll from ongoing protests in Iraq has climbed to 254 people, and the clashes may produce more victims in the coming days. The UN is warning the Iraqi government against using excessive violence against the demonstrators.
The unlawful use of lethal and less lethal weapons by security forces and armed people requires urgent attention. Immediate action is needed to stop the vicious cycle of violence.
Mass protests erupted across Iraq last month, with citizens denouncing poor economic conditions, a lack of public services and rampant corruption. However, the movement quickly became political, calling for the ousting of President Bahram Salih, who represents Iraq's Kurdish minority. The brewing crisis is fueled by ethnic and religious tensions between the Sunni and Shia Muslims, as well as the Kurdish people.
They are pushing demonstrators toward violence. The protests are peaceful. They killed protesters last night, offended people and pushed them toward violence. This is their official policy.
These latest tensions come just 2 years after the defeat of the Islamic State in Iraq. ISIS leaders claim they fought to protect Iraqi Sunnis from the Shia majority, who have friendly ties to Iran's Ayatollah regime. To make things worse, Iranian-backed paramilitary, known as Badia organization, maintains its presence in Iraq, while its political wing is present in the Iraqi government.
Iran wants to use Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen as bases to attack Israel with statistical missiles and precision-guided missiles.
Both the Sunni Muslims and Kurds living in Iraq have been skeptical of the friendly ties between Baghdad and Tehran, and this resentment may have finally boiled over. Earlier this week, protesters set the Iranian consulate in the city of Karbala on fire. Security experts believe ongoing clashes in Iraq could escalate into a new civil war, and both the Ayatollah regime and local ISIS cells may capitalize on the unrest. Another concern is the US maintains a limited number of troops in Iraq, who may find themselves between the rock and a hard place in case of a new sectarian conflict.
We're committed to defeating and crushing the ISIS remnants that are still here, even in areas near Kirkuk, in Diyala province, Saladin, and Anbar. The coalition and the United States will stand up and find and strike and kill any terrorist that we can.
The UN says the Iraqi government must start dialogue with the protesters and resolve the disagreements between the nation's various ethnic and religious groups. Kristian Rouz, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.